Assalamu alaikum. Welcome. Suleiman Raheem here. Let's slay some demons. Sisters and brothers and sisters, this is a continuation of the series of breaking down the angel from chapter 1 to chapter 22. This is chapter 8. As I said, each chapter has its own personality. So we're going to get into it, and this chapter 8 reveals a lot of things. As I said, the angel reveals everything. There's no doubt the angel is the revelation for this period of time. The Quran has a statement about when they're told to believe what Allah has revealed, they say, we believe what was revealed to us. In other words, talking about the scriptures. Because the scriptures, that's what they're talking about. It's, I believe it's verse 91, the second chapter. And I'll probably include that in a post or something. So it says right there, it says, Allah reveals something now. We believe what we have already. It says, even though it takes and supports what was revealed to you before, you still, hey, I don't want to hear it. Scriptures, well, they got their day coming. You're not going to worry about that. Anyone studying angel knows it is definitely telling you everything that's going on now. They will not find that in the Quran. Everybody was caught off guard by the Quran. Everyone. No one saw it. You have no one on the whole planet that saw COVID-19 coming to 2020. No one except the angel. And they have no idea when it's going to end, or how it's, or, the total impact it's going to have. The angel is the only book that has that. And still, I don't want to hear it. They want to talk, don't give me this. I only get the Quran's the last thing. They said black men is it. So let them keep on with their nonsense. Because once you see the angel, it's revealing everything, explaining everything. Those books do not. There's nothing wrong with those books in the time frame that they was meant to be effective, but they're out of time now. So we're not going to waste time with that. Let's get on into it, brothers and sisters, and maybe I have something to say on the back end. Chapter 8, 911, Day of the Lord. I keep bringing this up, brothers and sisters, and I think I'm going to continue doing that because, and you should read this to understand it. This is what we are up against. As I've been explaining more and more in detail in the last few days, right? We were brought over here, we're like the punching bag. We're what the West, Europeans, America, we're their punching bag. This is how they ease their frustrations. They take it out on us. Their murderous inclinations. Take it out on us. So therefore they don't take it out on each other. So now they say, see how lovely we are, we're peaceful, we love peace, we love freedom and all that stuff. Yeah, because they take their their oppressive instincts out on us. If we wasn't here, they'd be doing it to each other as they were in Europe before slavery began. You need to understand how pressure works in this particular concept of pressure. See, they have aggressive, oppressive instincts, very strong, oppressive, aggressive, unjust instincts. You saw that when they was in Europe against each other. Go and study history, how they treated each other very badly. The rich treat the poor very badly. The powerful treat the poor very badly. There was constant war with each other. They was constantly fighting and everything. So how did all that stop? Why did all that stop? They stopped once they had someone to take their frustration out on. And they came with this racism idea, right? Racism is something that you're not born with. It's a concept like capitalism. No one born a capitalist. It's a construct of a philosophy or ideology that they come up with, right? To when they want to take someone else's stuff. Say reduce us as animals. Say we're animals. Say take our stuff. We don't deserve it. We're not really human. And then it boils up here and they start beating up on us and taking from us and abusing us and everything else and taking our wealth and our energy and everything else, right? So that's how they relieve their anxieties, their frustrations on us, took it out on us. So therefore, they was relieved. So they stopped taking out each other. So now they're at peace. They're at peace at our expense. They're not peaceful people. They weren't before. How they just changed all of a sudden? Right? Once they came to this racism ideology and brought us over here and start beating up on us, hanging us and raping us and all the things they was doing. Think about it. See, if you are an angry type person and you got something, and what these guys, they're angry, so they beat up on their wives, right? Then they go to work, everybody's cool, but they don't beat their wife to death. See, because now they took out their frustration on the wife or their children or something. So we're what they took their frustration out. We need to understand that concept. I'm going to talk about it more, not today, but that's what's going on. That's why they will never give us up. Because they give us up, all this talk about freedom and all that stuff, it will go down the drain. Because it never existed. They took all that anger and frustration and injustice, they put it upon us. They treat themselves more just now and more friendly, right? And more what's the word I want to say? More neighborly now, because they can go and kick our ass, rape our women, steal our wealth, use us, make us do all that dirty stuff, that tasks they don't want to do, force us to go out there in the fields and labor they don't want to do. So they had us to do it. As long as they had us to do it, now, hey, now they walk around, see how I mean, look at the dichotomy there. They call themselves the most free people on the planet, the most fair people on the planet, the most just people on the planet. At the same time, right next to it, they got slavery, genocide, death, murder, rape. You got to understand the balance. That's the balance. So in other words, right, that's how they balance it out. You see? So they put the negative on the other side of the equation. It still balances out. See? If you make us 10, if the balance is, say this is for just mathematical sake, the balance is 0. Well, if you have a 5, then you got to have a negative 5. Negative 5 equals back to 0. So we the negative, right, that allow them to be positive. See, if you understand. I'll leave it there. See? So let's move on. But anyway, right here, it tells you what their plan is. It says they're Confederate. They all the nations are against us. It says it right here. And it mentions specifically the Ishmaelites, which are the Sunni Arabs. They're not our friends. It says right there. They want to cut us off being a nation. Want to get rid of us. They're part of the whole confederation. Wants to get rid of us because they don't want us to rise up, because they know a promise was made to us if we come over here and be this punching bag for these devils, right? So they would take their frustration on us and leave them alone. If we, that was the nature of our sacrifice. If we did that, then when their time was up, right, then we would inherit the best part of planet Earth, and would be the premier tribe. Now the time is up, and they're reneging, so they want to get rid of us, see? Especially the Ishmaelites, right? Because they get on land, they're on our land, our religion, our language, holy sites, they got it all, and they claim it's theirs. See, because they're the seed of Abraham, they're his oldest son, which they are his oldest son. Was not the son that was blessed by Allah. The son that was blessed by Allah was the son that Sarah had. That's Isaac, that's us. And it says, not only that, but they want to make us, they become as dung in the earth. Dung, you know what dung is? That shit. That's what they've done so far. Everybody shits on us because that's the image we get. Who controls that image? False Israel. They control that image. They have us look on the screen like fools, ignorant, dumb, dummies, niggers, and everything else. They control the image. Remember, you used to have black face and everything? Now they got demons to do it. And you got these demons out there, right? All these demons out there, Denzel and Martin Lawrence and Rock and you name it. You understand? They're all demons. They get on there and they play us. They play, Wesley Snipes, all of them. That's the image they show the world. And so now that's the way the world sees us. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. Okay. Now this is the 8th, right? Okay. Now it starts out on the bottom down here. Whenever you open the seal of the 7th, right? Because there were six seals already open. Now he's opened the 7th seal. Occurs silence in heaven as half an hour as, not half an hour as. So that's some translators say about, but as same thing. That's what it means. So it doesn't mean exactly, because an hour in the angel in this case is 24, right? An hour is broken into 24 parts, right? Okay, so half of that would be 12. But since it says about, and you have to pay attention to every word in the angel. So that means either 11 or 13. It's not 12. It's got either 11 or 13. So we see which one it is, right? Because hour represents, it's broken up into 12 parts, okay? So half an hour would be 12, but about half an hour would probably 11 or 13. So, and now what the silence starts in the 5th seal, because if you watch all the seals, John hears this, he hears something in the 1st seal, hears something in the 2nd seal, 3rd, but in the 5th seal, he hears nothing. He hears nothing, hears nothing. That's when the silence starts. You have to pay attention. Oh, in this particular one, I'm connecting this with other. I didn't do so much with the other seals. I mean, the other chapters. This one, I thought I'd need to do that because of the complexity of it. So I'm connecting this back, right, to chapter 6, right? So if you go to the 5th seal, he doesn't hear anything. So that's how you know it says silence in heaven about half an hour, right? So silence, what does that mean? It means something, right? So silence is talking about, that's where silence starts, right here. See? And so what is the 5th seal talking about? It's talking about, that's when they're under the altar. In other words, that's when Iran and Syria, they're the ones on the altar. In other words, that was 1990, when America and Britain and false Israel moved to the Middle East. It was cast down. That's what the 5th seal is all about. Because they're praying to their 12th Imam. When is he going to do something about it? He says, no, this one Iran, and he says, no, you got to wait until your fellow brothers, same thing happened to them. Right? So, and that's the one series. Anyway, that's what's talked about. That's when silence starts. So we have starting date 1990. Okay. So this said here again. I said when they cast their that's when they cast their crowns, right? Talked about the crown, the elders casting their crowns down. That's what happened in 1990, right? So that means that the silence would begin, right? Either 11 years later or 13 years later, or somewhere, or both. You know, it's talking about either one. So if you say 2000, say 11, that'd be 2001. Because remember, something happens as soon as that happens. And when you open up the sixth seal, it occurs silent him for half an hour. Then something happens. So it's giving you a time frame. So in other words, something's what happened in 2001 and 2003. Okay, silence begins 1990. Okay? Witnesses are cast down, 1990. The silence. And then I saw 7 angels who in sight of God have stood and was given them 7 trumpets. Here's the 7 trumpets here. You see? Now the God that we're referring to here is the Lamb, right? Because we refer both of them as gods. The Lamb and Farad. And the angel, that's what we refer to him, right? Okay. Let's go on.
America's aggression in the Middle East is their first overt attack on Islam. The Soviet Union has collapsed. Now America has turned full attention to breaking the back of Islam. The religious Sunni Arabs are resentful and suspicious of America's motivations. America's claim of WMD proved false, yet they stuck around anyway, an occupation force. In the 5th seal, they are praying for justice and revenge. For 11 years, approximately 1/2 hour later, an hour is 24 years, the Sunni Arabs plan their revenge. Having planned their revenge, they strike at the heart of America's symbol of capitalism, the World Trade Center. The Sunni Arabs, as well as all knowledgeable Muslims, know that the true religion of America and the West is capitalism. Capitalism is at war with Islam, and Islam is at war with capitalism. Allah is at war with the users, the priests of capitalism. All the attackers were Sunni Arabs from Saudi Arabia. None were from Iraq. This attack was inspired by Suleiman. He is the angel who receives the 7 trumpets. The seals have been broken by Suleiman, and the attack on the World Trade Center was his first warning shot across the bow of God before he starts sending his angels forth the 7 trumpets. The trumpets are also the 7 seals, and Suleiman, having broken the seals, is about to loose them on God and Magog. The attack on God 911 is an announcement of his presence.
Okay, brothers and sisters, give me a minute here. Now I know some of you may be wondering what happened here. Let's see here. I did this before, and in audio, and I just, instead of doing it all over again, I just chose that, but I neglected to take the audio out. So I'm gonna take the audio out. I could leave it in. I'd rather just speak to it. So let's go here, and let's see. So bear with me for a second here. is right there. It might be the only one. In fact, it was, so it's not a problem. Okay, no problem. Not a problem. Let's see where. Okay, we'll go to the next one. And then it's down here. And we're going to do this. Okay, brothers and sisters. So, well, let me see. I hope it doesn't do this again. Back up.
America's aggression
No,
in the Middle East is their first overt attack.
1 second, brothers and sisters. I have to take that out. Take it out. There's no way I'm getting around that. I need to show that. Okay. I do this. I'll click. No, it's going to take it out. There's no way I'm doing it. So I'm going to take it out. Okay. Okay. I have to take it out because I have to show you this. The third angel came and stood upon the altar having censer gold and was given him incense, many. So this is that's the angel Suleiman, right? And in chapter 10, if you look, right, that angel, this is the angel that's talking about chapter 10. The rainbow upon his head and feet as pillars of fire. So those are his feet, they're pillars of fire, right? Okay. The incense, right, golden. Now I said the top two wings of each nation is gold, right? So that's the golden censers, right? So they're going to mix the fire and those two together. So remember, the top represents Africa. The bottom, the one under that, represents the Sunnis. And Asia, but the top one represents the Sunnis, that's the golden part, the Islamic part. Okay? So there's two hints here because we find that 911, the people that they said was responsible for that, right? They came from Arabia and Africa. You know, they had some that came from Morocco, at least one came from Morocco, Africa. So anyway, so that's what it says on the third one, right? The third angel came, he stood upon the altar having censer gold and was given him incense men in order that they would get to the prayer of the holy. Holy represents the Sunni again, right? Upon the altar, the gold in the side of the throne. And stepped up smoke of the incense to the prayers of the holy out of the hand of the angel in sight of God, right? Okay, so this is again what you see right there, the fire and the incense and the bowls. Right? It's 2001 again, remember, because 1990 at 11 years is 2001, right? And it's taken angels sensory, filled out a fire altar and threw it into the earth. See, he throws it to the earth. And here, and this is kind of subtle here, but it says, then you hear then through the earth occurred thunders. See where thunders are? Those represent thunders, lightning. So it's like going down the line here. It's trying to show you exactly where it's happening at. Lightning, thunder, and the voice is there, see? So then it says it's shaking. So where's the shaking? There you go. See? So it threw into earth, that's where it throws it, right? It throws it into the earth. So that's 911. It's happened in 2001. Threw into the earth. Okay? So this will happen in 2001. Then 2003. Remember I said it's either 2001 or 2003. So, and then what happened in 2003? 2003, right? That's when the first trumpet blows. The first one is the fifth one. The fifth one that blows the fifth trumpet, right? That's when the second Gulf War took place. So 911 was 2001. The Gulf War took place in 2003. That's what it's talking about. That's why I say silence. It's about a half an hour. That's what it's talking about. So in 2003 is when the fifth trumpet blows. See, so they're preparing them, and now here they're prepared. They have their trumpets, and then the fifth one blows. That also gets back to the sun became dark, and sackcloth of hair, and the moon hole becomes blood. See, here's the sackcloth of hair becoming blood. The sixth one is the one where the moon becomes blood. We haven't gotten there yet, right? See, because that happens a few years later. So fifth annual trumpets, I saw it start have been fallen to the earth. See, it fell into the earth, right? And was given the key of the pit of the abyss. See, the key is not given because the key, that's another symbol I haven't given you yet. The key are the trumpets. The first key is the first trumpet, so forth. So he hasn't been given the key yet. He's given the key. They said give it to him right then. He hasn't given it to him yet, right? When they give it to him, that's when the second locusts go out. Anyway, but so he hasn't given the key yet, because the keys are also the trumpets. The first trumpet is the key. I hope you understand that. And then the sixth trumpet, right? Now, the sixth trumpet blows is the sixth trumpet that released the first four trumpets. Now, during this period of time was the time when the Lamb went and sealed the 144,000, the top and the bottom. You see, and he told that sixth trumpet, don't hold back the other four so they won't blow on anything. So here we go, look at it. The sixth trumpet, angel trumpet, and a voice out of the horns of altar the sight of the gods, saying to the sixth angel, the having the trumpet, loose the four angels have been bound upon the river Euphrates. See the rivers there? They was bound by those rivers. See, that's the four winds there. See, because remember those are waters also, the waters and the rivers. Okay, and will loose the four angels that haven't been prepared an hour, a day, month, year, nor they will make kill a third of men. The number of armies of the horses, myriads and herds, the number of them. That's 200 million. And Solomon seals his elect. The agreement is broken as stated in Daniel. It gets back to the agreement Obama had and all that stuff, right? So, excuse me, let me take care of this. Okay. So I'm not going into all the details about that. I'm just trying to give you a general idea how chapter 8 works. Okay. So the sixth, they're telling you right there, the sixth one is holding back the first four. The first four, right, are the four winds or the four trumpets. That's what's happening here. That's between 2016 and 2018. Okay. Then, right, the year of judgment, 2020. See, year of judgment. Now you see the sackcloth, that's the witnesses, right? They're spreading plagues. Because that's what it said they would do. In chapter 11, it said they would spread plagues upon the earth. They're saying these plagues came from China. Originally, they may have came from China, but what we're dealing with right now is coming from, it says God, and the Exodus says, I will send this plague. So Pharaoh is the one that's responsible for this plague, and the Shia are his angels. And it says in 11 that they're the ones spreading it. So is that, when that information becomes realized, is that what's going to trigger them to get to war? Anyway, they're going to war. See, that war's going to happen any day now. Anyway, that's what Angel tells us. It says they're the ones responsible for the plagues that the COVID, the version that we're dealing with right now. So were they been affected too? Well, there was one, but remember it got mutated. So I'm not going into more details about that. Anyway, but that's what's happened. See, and in that context, like I told you when it started out, they're not going to find a cure for it. They told me this vaccine and everything, they told me because of the election coming up, and now it's raging out of control. And it's going to get into the millions. I mean, deaths. Okay, so here we are, 2020. Now, the year of judgment raging against America, Britain, and false Israel. See, they get hit very hard. In fact, from my investigation, America, Britain, and false Israel are getting hit the hardest. It's spreading all over Europe because it would affect all of Europe, right? But they're getting the hardest, right? Okay. Then war breaks out. Pharaoh and Shia goes to war with the house of Saud, America, Britain, and false Israel. Pharaoh and his Shia are decisively victorious. They kicked them out. That's the war. Dragon, Michael and his angels go to war with the dragon and his angels. Right? Remember, the sixth trumpet is still holding back the first four. See? Because they're told to hold back the first four. See? Until Suleiman, he's the one that calls for the, because he's the one that's telling them to hold back the first four. See, Pharaoh commands them, he controls them. See, but it's Suleiman that's saying, hold them back. Hold them back. See, so he's the one that determines when they actually blow. Pharaoh is the one that determines when they go to war. See, the war's already taken place. See, we don't know when that's going to happen. See, but it tells you in there when the four winds will blow. See, but I'm not going to tell you what that is either. But it tells you. If you go in here and look at it, right? Let's find it real quick. And the loose four having been prepared in war, and these are four angels, and they were loose. The four angels, that's the four winds, have been prepared in the hour, the day, month, and year. So if you can figure that out, then you will know the exact time. I'm not going to tell you, right? The hour, day, month, and year. If you can figure out what that is, because they tell you precisely exactly when that's going to happen, when the four winds will blow. See? But as far as the war is concerned, right, it's Pharaoh's call, because he's the one that says Michael and his angels with the war with the dragon angels. That means he's the one that's going to war with them. So that's his call. But as far as the winds blowing, that's Suleiman's call. See? He's the one saying hold them back. Okay? And it says, it tells you when. It says they prepared into the hour, day, month, and year. That's a very precise time. And I will give it to you one day once the war starts, and I'll tell you exactly what that means. And then you'll see. Yeah, you'll see. And you'll agree. Okay. So where we at? Okay, war breaks out, and they're defeated, right? America, Britain moved to exterminate their blacks. War breaks out in Europe and in Orient. So now America's at war in Europe. They're trying to eradicate us, just like they did the Japanese, but Japanese put in a concentration camp when they go to war. This time they're going to put us in concentration camps, right? But not to the end of the war, to get rid of us. Then round us up to get rid of us. That's the point. That's why Pharaoh has to go to war before that's why he's got to go to war before they have a chance to set that up, because they're setting it up right now. So he has to go before they set it up. And then, once they go to war, they have to move their plan up faster, because the war happened before they was expected to happen. So now they got to move their plan to get rid of us. That's why the four winds have to come to stop them, right? Knock them down. So then it says the first trumpet. Now the four winds are blowing. The first trumpet occurred, hail and fire, having mingled in blood, was thrown to earth. Third, earth was burned down. Third, trees were burned down, and vegetation, green, yellow, was burned down. See, I'm not going into details about that, but that's what it's talking about. That's the fifth one. And the fifth angel trumpet, and I saw a star. And, okay, this gets back to the fifth trumpet again. Remember I said that the first trumpet is the key? So that's why I'm talking about the fifth trumpet here. The fifth angel trumpet and star out of heaven, having fallen to earth, it was given him key of the pit of the abyss. So now he has the key. Right? So then he released, when he gets that key, he releases what? The locust. That's the second locust plague. The one I'll be telling you about. The first one lasts 5 months. This one lasts 5 months too, but 1,000 times worse than that first one. Right? That's what, so now he has the key. So he opened up the abyss. Okay, that's what I was talking about. It's getting a little ahead of our things here. Let me just check something right quick to make sure I haven't messed up anything before I go any further. Okay, everything looks good, so I'll keep going. Okay. Black unity against America's genocidal rampage. Okay, so now the four winds. So I'm good to read the rest of them. The second angel trumpeted, that's the second wind, and the mountain great fire burning itself was thrown to the sea. That's the sea. The second, that's how you know how they fit. Because see, the second one first went to the earth, the second went to the sea, right? And then the third one, this third one here, and third angel trumpeted fell, started having burned itself, and fell in the rivers. So that's how you know where to place them at. This one falls into the rivers, right? And the fourth one trumpet was given below third part of the sun. See the sun and the moon and all that and stars up here. So that's how you know they tell you where to put these things at, right? And then it talks about these angels flying in mid-heaven. This is mid-heaven. Mid-heaven between the heavens and the earth. So here's the earth here. These are represents the heavens. So that would be the Shia. Those are angels flying in mid-heaven. They're also part of the eagle, so they're birds, and they're flying in mid-heaven. They're between the earth. When you think these things through, you see it. They're between the earth, and that's why I said mid-heaven, because they're between the heavens. Heavens represent the sea and all this up here. Why did I do that? I don't know why I did that. Right? And the earth is down here. So it's between. That's what it's talking about. It says, woe, and it's talking about the other trumpets. So I'm not going to go into it anyway. And then, woe, okay. And then it says, and the woe second went off, look, and woe the third is coming quickly. And the seventh angel trumpeted. So the seventh angel trumpeted, now the seventh angel is about to trumpet. And this is what happens. Now the kingdoms become frauds. That's what it's talking about. Now the kingdom of the world, the Lord of us, the Christ of us, will reign. Talking about Suleiman and the God, right? So he become same kingdom of the world, Lord of us, the Christ of us, he will reign into the age of ages. Right? That's what happens. Okay? Is that it? Okay, that's it, brothers and sisters. That's it. So, that's it on that. Okay, brothers and sisters, I'm going to wrap it up right there. Hope you understand that. That'll be chapter 8. Chapter 9 will be coming next. So again, it's not in excruciating detail. Just give you a basic idea, because like I said, you have to study it. If I take you to the gym and you just look around, that's not going to help you at all. You actually have to start using equipment. See, so the angel is your mental gym. Right? You got all kinds of equipment, because every chapter has its personality. And every time you break one down, that breaks a verse down, that means you're increasing the muscles in your brain power. So that's what you have to do. That's on your way to Godhood and Goddesshood, right? And let me wind up by saying this. There's 5 aspects to pressure. The fundamental mathematics of the universe is 5 parts to it, right? Force is the most fundamental. That's the first pillar of Islam, the first principle, right? Then you have torque, which is a force, a spinning force, right? Then you have currents, which is a force differential, right? Then you have fasting, which is mass times acceleration, which equals force. That's what force is, mass times acceleration. A ratio between mass and acceleration, which is matter and energy, or food and energy. Then last one is harmonic motion, or Hajj. Now, that's our nature. And it's those, what you do, those 5 principles is what your nature is your nature. So your nature is built on those 5 principles. And so when you apply them, right, that's your strength. You strengthen your nature. You have to apply them. Now I put out there, you can look again. If you can't find it, I'll do it again, or I'll repost it. The 5 pillars of Islam, what they mean, how to use them. So you have to, KV, what he does is he's affected by that too. But he doesn't apply it that way. Instead of mathematics, understand that mathematics is the true religion. Right? He makes up these false religions like Christianity, which the basic concept is thrown out the window. Consequence. No consequence in Christianity. All you gotta do is believe in Jesus, we can do whatever you want to do. See what I'm saying? So, but he has to have something to balance out. He has something to address those, because that's your nature. Still got to address it. Like, you got to eat, so you got to eat something. And you can't say, well, I'm not gonna eat anymore. So you have something, so it's that's how you dress. You don't want to deal with the universal laws that apply to us, so he makes up his own. So, because he has to deal with these things too. I mean, he has to eat, he has to go to the bathroom, he has to do it just like we do, right? But he doesn't want to do it in the context of the mathematics, because first he's grafted mind, he can't. So therefore, his way of addressing the first principle, right, is making up some crazy religion, right? And all these other religions out there. The true religion is mathematics, period. But they got all this other stuff because they're deviating, right? They're out of sync. Remember I said they're unjust people. So therefore they're not going to be in sync with the universe. So when they go to the second one, instead of, because anything that spins is torque. The more you spin, the more bright you are, the more firm you are, the more you spin the top, the more it spins, the more firm it comes, the more bright it comes, right? See? So I say, and what's happened when you do torque, right? When you do citing the Quran, I'm not going into detail about it, but you're dealing with your heart, with the circle. The heart is the engine of circulatory system. Anything that spins, circulatory, right, has torque. That's the second principle. So the more firm you want, if you want to get rid of all that emotional, all that anxiety, all that kind of stuff, that's what you have to do. And the more you do it, the more firm you can be. Fried, he did 6 to 8 hours a night doing instead of sleeping. How you think? You think it was easy? You think he was doing it because it was fun? Because he's the God, he's mastered. That's why I call him Master from. He's mastered the 5 principles. See? I've mastered knowledge of it, but not the application, because I'm still suffering from energy deprivation like you are. So I don't have the energy to try to do it 7, 8 hours a night. But I've mastered the knowledge of it, just not the application of it. Now you will soon, once we get more energy, once this energy is finally settled, we got it, then you will be able to do it too. So we will be like him. See, when we see him, we will be like him. See, because the only difference between that and him is we have suffered energy deprivation. He's not. That's why he's got a Caucasian body, because the Caucasian body doesn't suffer energy deprivation. Okay. Then you got current, right? That's it's called zakat. So if you want to take, if the balance is 100, right, and you got 1,000, right, and say balance 100, and you got 200, that means you got negative 100, right? That's pulling away from you. It's trying to pull away from you. So you want to avoid that. See, so if you got the balance is well, if I said the balance is 100 and you got 200, and you got negative 100, pulling all that's negative energy. But if you got 50, then you got 50 years of positive energy coming towards you. That's why when you give things away, right, balance, charity, you generate positive energy towards yourself. But if you greed in everything, see, their thing is what they do, they greed. They usury, remember? It says that's why Allah is against usury. Their idea is usury. Just greed, take all they want. I'll say, no, we do it the opposite. Because that's why they create that's why they got cancers, all these diseases, everything, and all this trouble, because they do all this negative, they think they're getting stronger, but just be greedy and be beat and everything else. They create all this negative energy around themselves. See, but the Quran says no. It's the other way around. Charity, right? See, most people don't understand what that's all about. The other way around. So now you give and you help, then you generate positivity for yourself. That's the third one. The fourth one, right, is mass time acceleration, which is equal force. That remember the fundamental, I said everything is built on force. So mass time acceleration is from the force. That means the ratio between mass and energy. So it means the more you eat, right, the less energy you're going to have. So that's why you're fasting. See, instead of eating 3,000 calories 3 times a day, 1,000 in the morning, 1,000 in the afternoon, 1,000 in the evening, just eat 3,000 evening. Still getting the same amount of calories, but you maximize your energy. You understand? Or eat 9,000 every 3 days. See, then you got all that, once you get used to it, then you got all that energy, right? 3 days before you eat something and slow down. See? And then the last one, right, is harmonic motion. That's the heart going around, right? Because now you got energy, you're doing those other things, and you're talking to people. See, and the way they deal with fasting, right? They don't do the fasting, right? Eat all they can. They say, well, I'm gonna get more energy if they more to eat. See, they got everything backwards. They think they get energy back, eat more. I'm gonna eat everything I can eat. See, that's their answer to all these different things: usury, false religion, right? As far as concerned, they take drugs. See, they get nervous and they drink. Give me a drink. I need a drink. Some drugs and stuff. That's their answer. So in other words, false religion, that's the answer to the first pillar. Drugs, second answer, the second pillar, right? Usury is the answer to the third pillar. All the things are backwards. The fourth pillar, just eat everything, gluttony. They think the more you eat, the more energy you have. No. And then what's the last one? Tyranny, just force you to do things. So force people to do things, No, and we talk to people, we spread the truth. And we convince someone, then they're moving the same way we're moving, right? So everybody's moving in harmony, right? See? But they're just force everybody to move in harmony, force everybody to move the way they want them. It's tyranny. Ours is, right? You talk to people, right? And you spread the truth. And those who are of the truth, they're going to still agree with you. So now everybody's moving in harmony. You understand, brothers and sisters? You got to apply them. If you don't apply them, don't walk around telling, hey man, I got these issues. Because you don't need Scientology and none of that crap. And Islam is self-sufficient. Those things will solve all your problems. All of them. So you don't need to listen to Farrakhan, this, Scientology and all this crap they come up with. Islam is self-sufficient. You follow those 5 things, that's all the problem. I don't know any problem I have, it's outside of that. Okay, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.